Hello, it's me. I have returned. I haven't uploaded in a while because I was on holiday thanks to all the money your mums paid me to keep you entertained because you annoy them. We got to 6,000 subscribers in that time, which is a lot of people for an introverted person like me to deal with. Realistically, one person is a lot to deal with. Anyway, I'm back now, so if you're new here, please subscribe so I can receive money from your mum as well and go on even longer holidays. Also, thanks to these guys for the suggestion. Load up Horizon Zero Dawn. Start a new game. Welcome to Childhood Rejection. You are Aloy, an outcast of the Nora tribe, and you're giving berries to this woman who tells you to fuck off. Quick little backstory, you're an outcast because you don't have a mum. Why this tribe hates orphans, I'll never know, but fellow outcast Ross decided to raise you because he's the only other outcast and was most likely lonely as fuck in a world full of robot dinosaurs and shit like a cyberpunk Jurassic Park. The rejection of your berries makes you run away and you fall into this hole, as if being an orphan who's hated by everyone wasn't bad enough. Now you have a broken solar plexus. Inside this hole there's a lot of modern stuff created by the old ones, which are basically just your bang average humans, except they're more extinct than my will to live. You find this metal Dorito on a rotting, gross dead guy and stick it on your face, which isn't very hygienic. Not that hygiene matters when you can see cool colors and shit. That metal Dorito is a focus. I assume it's called that because you can focus on stuff. Maybe it'll help me focus on getting a real job. Get out of the cave and find Ross, who decides now is a good time to teach you how to hunt. I think he's realized you're dumb and fall down holes, so wants to teach you how to survive, or something. Maybe he should have taught him too. You sneak through the grass to help this guy so the robot dinosaurs don't kill him, then his boys turn up and give you shit. Remember, you're an outcast and don't deserve love. You ask Ross why you're an outcast and who your mother is, and he probably doesn't know either, so just tells you some bullshit about winning a competition called the Proving, and the leaders will do whatever you want, including letting you know what the fuck happened to your mum. So cue the training montage. Dun 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 dun. Oh my god, that roll made you an adult. What the f? Frost has one more lesson for you before the Proving. He tells you to meet him at this gate that goes into the wild because this is where you learn your final lesson. I thought it was going to be something cool like water bending, but it's basically just how to kill slightly scarier robots. Then you go to the Proving and Ross is like, once this happens, you'll never see me again. I think that's because you won't be an outcast anymore, but he still will be. So you're like, okay, bye, bitch. This old bag is the only other person who kinda likes you. She's called Tirza and tells you to go have fun because it's a festival and that. Not sure how you're supposed to have fun when everyone you meet tells you how much they hate you. There's some guys from another tribe here, and your tribe doesn't like their tribe because their tribe did some bad stuff to your tribe. It's a whole thing, you know, hashtag tribe drama. Basically, there's 4 tribes. Nora, that's you. Arja, Oseram, and some other one I don't know yet. I will tell you later. Hello, it's me from the future. I have finished the game, and I have learned that the other tribe is called the Banuk, I think. I hope so at least, or I'm gonna look very stupid. This guy Erend is from the Oseram tribe, and his tribe, along with yours, got attacked by the Karja, which are these guys, and they're like, yeah, we fucked up, our bad. Apparently their leader is dead now, so you don't have to worry about getting attacked anymore. There's also a fellow focus wearer here called Olin, who's acting like you just caught him with his fingers in the cookie jar. Then Erend comes over and tries to hit on you. Kinda sus since you barely look over 16, and he looks like he could have a midlife crisis while drinking a few pints down at the local pub. You go through some ritual shit for the Proving, go to sleep, then climb this mountain so the Proving can actually begin, which involves shooting a robot deer and getting a trophy from it, but this little blonde Malfoy looking asshole shoots yours, so you have to get another one. You take a shortcut to win the Proving, and you're about to be crowned baddest bitch of them all when this lady gets crowned deadest bitch of them all, because she's dead. Some bad guys appear and attack everyone. Don't worry guys, if we work together we can beat them. You fight them off by yourself and find a focus on their leader, but then a big bloke sneaks up behind you, and instead of using your weapons you try to elbow him, which... yeah, it wasn't smart. He's about to kill you when Ross shows up and fights this guy. Then midway through, the game devs decide that you need more character development. The bad guys are about to explode all the evidence, including you, when Ross, who's still alive, is like, survive, then throws you off a cliff, which I'm not gonna lie, lowers your chances of being able to do that. Ross goes boom, you wake up in a cave, the focus you got from that guy shows they were sent after you because you look like this person. It's probably your mum, I don't know. Then Tirza tells you that the mountain is your mum. A bit weird, I didn't know mountains could do that. In other words, they found you on the floor in front of this door one day. Tirza thought you were a gift from the door, which she thinks is a god. Really shows you what these people are like when the person in charge believes a door is an all-powerful being that can produce children. The door must have had some Tesco self-checkout AI voice put into it, because it's like, unexpected item in bagging area, and proceeds to scan you like you're a pack of Dairy Dunkers. It doesn't open because it's corrupted, so you need to look for Olin, because those people who attacked you found you through his focus, but he lives in a place called Meridian. That's Karja territory. As a result, you've got to leave the Nora Sacred Lands, which isn't allowed really, so Tirza promotes you to Seeker, whose job description is just go somewhere far away and never fucking come back. Just as you're about to leave, the base gets attacked by a special robot that can control others. Shame it couldn't control your arrows traveling into its face. You somehow know which part it was using to control the robots and take it so you can do the same and begin your journey to Meridian. On the way, you meet Val, who tells you to speak to Maria up in Mother's Crown, but first, you need to help him with a war chief that's gone missing and is probably dead, but you have to find her anyway because story and stuff. She's not dead, but wants to avenge the people who are dead, so you all attack this camp and, yeah, avenged. Up in Mother's Crown, Maria tells you the gates to the Kaja are locked because there's some corrupted robot deers and one of those controller robots around, and you're the only one who can actually do anything about them, so go to Meridian and find Errand. He's been promoted to captain after his sister died. I guess they were trying to cheer him up. Anyway, he agrees to let you search Olin's place for clues. You just need to be careful so Olin doesn't know you've searched his house, so make sure to leave everything as it was when you found it. You learn that Olin's family was being held hostage by the bad guys. You can't relate because you don't have a family, thus head out to split his shins in half. Errand also asks you to help him find out what happened to his sister because you've got focus powers, so I guess we'll help him out with that at some point. There's a map showing you where Olin's gone, and you head over there to find him with a bloke who can resurrect robots. His hard work goes to waste when you turn up though, because anything electronic you see happens to receive an arrow in its face. Not sure why that keeps happening. Just before you attack them, a guy started talking to you through your focus. I don't know who he is, but he's interested in you, so I hope he's not above the age of 18, because that would make him a non. So his killers are called the Eclipse. They used to be part of the Kaja tribe, and that big dude who killed Rost is their leader called Helis, and they worship a devil called Hades. Olin also says he found the image of that woman who kind of looks like you at some ruins. You let Olin go free because at the end of the day he's got a family, and you of all people know what happens to children who don't have any parents, and instead go to the ruins he mentioned. On the way, that mysterious voice man tells you that the woman who looks like you is Elizabeth Sobeck. When you get there, the Eclipse is also there, like they're squatters in an abandoned council house, and now it's your job to evict them. Turns out they have big robots called Deathbringers that they're going to use to take over the world. I wonder if they have any hug bringers. After destroying the Deathbringer, you find a guy with a focus, and when you try to analyze it, everything goes red and spooky. Hades was watching through this focus and knows you're still alive. There's another door in these ruins similar to the one back in Nora land, but this one opens so you can go inside. At the top of the ruins, you scan some audio files with your focus that show Elizabeth Sobeck talking to some guy. A basic summary of what in the fucking hell is going on is Ted, our holographic boy here, made some robots. Those robots were supposed to be used to keep the peace between nations, and credit where it's due, they did do that. I imagine Earth was very peaceful when everything died on it. A glitch in the robots made them able to uncontrollably replicate. Then this big brain guy decided to make biomass their fuel source, meaning
looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
And yeah, that's how all the old generation of people died. But you might be asking, how are we still here then if these robots eat everything that breathes? And I haven't got that far yet. Hang on. Here we go. Sobeck proposed an idea called Project Zero Dawn, which I imagine is important because it's on the front cover of the game. Whatever Project Zero Dawn is, it must be bad because Ted would rather let the entire world get eaten by robots, but Sobeck is like, either sign off on this or I will tell on you. You're about to leave the ruins when that mysterious voice man holographicalizes himself. You ask him for his name, obviously, because as far as we know, he's just a weirdo watching an underage girl through a camera on her ear. And he's like, I have spent years researching this shit, and you have done more than I ever could in the space of 5 minutes, and now you want to know my name? Yeah, it's silence. You could have just said that from the start. You didn't need to go into all that detail. Quiet! We must find out what that Zero Dawn thing was. On the audio files, Elizabeth said she was going to a place called US Robot Command, so you'll most likely find answers there. Only problem is, I can't imagine anyone knowing its location hundreds of years later.
The place still exists.
Silence just knows where it is because game. You find the place, which is kind of hard to miss since there's a robot the size of my dick. The Eclipse is here until there. You know, not. You kill another one of those big robots that's slightly harder to kill than the previous one because it can move, and I can't hide behind a rock to safe spot it from a distance. I was half expecting to actually find something out by going to this place, but the only thing you learn is that the military got involved and civilians were sent to die. You still know shit all about this Project Zero Dawn. You guessed it though, there's a new place to go. Sobeck went to the orbital launch base in Utah. Now Utah is probably quite far away, so there's an unlikely chance we're going to be able to find it.
I've checked my data and located the base.
Silence has located the base. If he's that good at finding stuff, maybe he could find my dad. It just so happens to be the capital city of the Eclipse. They all have focuses on, which means if they see you, Hades will also see you, and they will kill you, which is bad. You're like, oh, remember that one time where you turned off their focusers? And Silence is like, that's not possible, they have a network. What the fuck is a network? Remember, I'm a tribe person. Oh shit, yeah, it's a network like a net that works in some way. That makes no sense. Yes, if we crash the network, we could stop them from communicating. That is not what I say. Aloy, you're a genius! How did we get here? You go to destroy the Wi-Fi router in an Eclipse base to crash the network. When you get to the router, it gives you a shock, which pisses off the sentient ketchup nearby. Hades is surprised you showed up, and thinks you're here to destroy him, but joke's on him, you're here to turn off his Wi-Fi, which would undoubtedly send any millennial into a minor panic attack. All the Eclipse guys guys start trying to kill you, but life is tough when you have stormtrooper aim, and you escape by abseiling off this bridge. I'm gonna be honest, if you'd missed that throw, then this game would be called Horizon Zero Lives Left, because you'd be fucking dead. You and Silence have a little fight because he knew Hades would be there, and it nearly got you killed, so you tell him you don't trust him, and he's like, that's good, you shouldn't trust me, you fucking idiot. Oh, now you can go to Sunfall, the capital of the Eclipse, and you should have no problems getting in there because their focuses don't work, and they definitely won't recognize you despite you being their main target. Inside the city, you find the ruins, which Silence secured using his knowledge of the Old One's technology. Like in every other ruins, there's a door, and the door thinks you're Sobek, so lets you in, but in the process alerts the Eclipse, meaning they're going to be on your case in about 5 minutes when they figure out how to get past Silence security. There's a hologram inside the ruins with a military guy explaining Zero Dawn. It's supposed to be a super weapon to deal with the bad robots, but that was a lie they cooked up to make people fight. In reality, nothing can stop the robots because they can breed like rabbits, and the codes to shut them down are harder to crack than Google's two-step verification feature. But then what's the point in the civilian suicide mission, you might be asking? There's a lot to unpack in this next bit, so bear with me. You find another hologram where Sobek explains that Zero Dawn is basically to build an artificial god that can Adam and Eve the fuck out of us when we're all dead. The AI is called Gaia, and it's pretty much Earth's housekeeper for the foreseeable future. It has like sub-functions that do all the side quests necessary to make Earth habitable again, like getting those codes to shut down the bad robots, terraforming the planet using robots, creating new animal life, producing a new generation of human beings with all the knowledge that the old ones had. What I'm taking from this is Sobek is capable of creating a literal god, but factory resetting a few robots is above her pay grade. Hades and Apollo were both part of the sub-functions, Hades being responsible for wiping everything clean in case shit goes wrong, and Apollo being human knowledge, and both seem to have gone tits up because Hades is trying to kill you, and you're on the same intellectual level as the people who keep buying the new FIFA every year. You find more holograms of Sobek teaching Gaia stuff, and when you break into her office, you find the Alpha Registry Master File. What is it? This file is the thing that corrupted your door back home, meaning if you copy it, that door will open, but as you're copying it, the Eclipse show up, including this Roman Legion twat who chucks a grenade at you and knocks you out. Mysteriously, it didn't even hurt him, even though he's like 20 feet away from you. Not that it matters, because he stomps on your face. I hope Sobek has a file on facial reconstruction surgery. Next thing you know, you're in a cage. You probably didn't recognize the Roman Legion man in his cosplay, but it's Helis, the big guy that killed Ross. He starts talking about, ooh, I'm an evil guy who's very evil. I sent my men to attack your homeland. Acting like he's not doing you a favor by killing all the people who treated you like an outcast your entire life. He also destroys your focus that had the Alpha Registry file on it, which I feel like is more painful than him destroying your entire tribe. Helis obviously needs to give you a way to escape so the story can progress, so puts you in an arena with a big robot, but the problem with big robots is they can destroy things, including the platform that has all your weapons on it. I don't think Helis was expecting you to survive and is sort of like, that was just a warm-up, now the real fight begins. I don't know why he sounds like that, but he does. That's just how it is. And sends in 2 corruption robots. Looks like you're about to get turned into some Parmesan cheese by these 4-legged blenders, but then there's an explosion. Whom could it be that's come to rescue you? Oh my god, it's Silence, but not holographic Silence. It's solid, meaty Silence. You escape on robot horseback, meanwhile Helis is like, traitor! I guess that means that Silence worked for him, or still does. I don't fucking know. Silence tells you he made a copy of the Alpha Registry file and gives you a fresh new focus. The Nora tribe is under attack from the Eclipse, and it makes sense that you have to save them, but remember when Erend wanted you to help him find his sister? Yeah, I personally think now is a perfect time to go do that. So meet up with Erend, do some detective shit, and learn that his sister wasn't actually killed. Oh my god. Then you meet the Sun King. He's an important guy. His passion for finding Erend's sister tells me he was romping her in the sack. She possibly could have been kidnapped by a guy called Duval. Erend thinks this is impossible because he's got a mega bounty on his head, so everyone's trying to find him, but that's exactly why it's probably him. You find Duval's camp through more detectiveness, and inside is Erend's sister, who's alive! Before dying, Erend's sister alluded to some evil plans of Duval's. The short story is he wanted to take over Meridian and murder the Sun King, but I imagine he didn't consider the possibility of a young lady getting in the way of his plans. With that shit out of the way, you can finally go help the Nora. I really hope they all didn't die a horrible death while you were busy with all that very important stuff. The surviving Nora people are hiding in a mountain being camped by a robot T-Rex, but at the sight of an adolescent child with a machine gun are like, Fort Nora land or whatever. The T-Rex dies and you go into the mountain to open up that door. Despite stopping the Eclipse from getting a victory royale against your tribe, some people still don't like you. Jezza, one of the leaders, is like, how the f did you do that? And Teersa is like, through the power of All Mother. What a strange thing to call plot armor. You open up the door and go inside. There's a hologram of Gaia who says that Hades got awakened by an unknown virus and will make everyone die in about 2 months. So to stop it, Gaia self-destructs, but with no one at the range, the world is going to have some issues, which is why you were created using Sobek's DNA to act like the Flintstone Sobek 2.0. Hades produces some virus allowing it to escape, and that's why he's been fucking with you when he's supposed to be dead. But fear not, Gaia has another plan. There's a master override at another facility, and if you can get it, then you can restore Hades to factory settings. If if you will. Leave the facility, and now these fake Nora dickheads all like you because you opened a door. This is like a Naruto saving the village from pain situation. To get to the facility Gaia mentioned, you need to climb up this fat mountain. It's here where I believe the game developers realize you might be having too much fun and just throw a whole load of hard-to-fight robots. Maybe I'm rubbish at the game, or maybe it's their fault, not mine because I'm perfect. Fuck you. Once again, like every other place you've been to, there's a metric assload of information shoved down our throats. Sobek ended up sacrificing herself to stop the bad robots from finding the facility, and for some reason you're actually surprised that she's dead. Wasn't that like the whole reason she made Gaia? Are we sure you're related to her? Because there seems to be a real difference in intellectual capabilities here. Then you find another hologram, and our boy Ted is still alive. He seems to think that the knowledge humans have is a disease, so purges Apollo and murders all the higher-ups. Personally, I think knowledge is good, because I'd rather shit in a toilet than a hole in the ground. Point is, the Master Override is here. That's what you came to get. Now let's go purge an AI. Before exiting the ruins, Solid Silence shows up. We know that whenever he shows up, that means there's going to be some bombshell that he's going to drop. Long story short, he was the one who first found Hades. He served it because it promised him knowledge. He was the founder of the Eclipse pretty much, but more importantly, Hades wanted to know about the Spire, which is like that tall thing near Meridian, because those are the things Gaia used to transmit the deactivation codes to the bad robots, and Hades intends to do the opposite and wake them up, hence why you have to hit him with the Master Override. Go over to Meridian to have a chat with the Sun King and let him know the deets on what the fuck is happening, because while you've been fighting robots and evil men, he's been trying to shag Aaron's sister, at least before she, you know. The Sun King is like, say no more, young child who could easily be playing a prank on me. I will mobilize thousands of men on your word alone. He leaves it up to you to go and check preparations for the final battle, and I get it that you're this mega awesome fighter, but not once have you ever had to defend a city from an army, so I think this is a bit out of your depth. Not that it really matters, because your rendition of checking preparations is just to have a chat with all your friends. Finally, you get some sleep before the final battle, which I believe is the first time you've actually let your head touch a pillow since being an outcast, and then the fight begins. Helis shows up with an army of mega robots. Fortunately, you have a terrifying army in the form of these 8 men with pointy sticks. You and Helis fight. Supposedly Helis is a master killer, meaning this fight will probably be quite tough. At least it would have been if he remembered how to run. That's what you get, bitch. Nothing could stop us now. The robots break through your defenses and head towards the Spire. Meanwhile, you're passed out. This is the most sleep I've seen you get the entire game. There's such a thing as a time and a place, you know? Hades reaches the Spire and reactivates the bad robots, and I think this man's reaction perfectly describes how most people will be feeling right now. Things aren't looking very good, but you have to keep fighting because you're the main character or whatever. So meet up with Erend and Co near the Spire. Hades attempts to dissuade you from overriding him with a very convincing argument in the form of a big fuck-off robot, but counter-argument. Purging Hades shuts off all the robots for some reason. Didn't we need like special codes for this the last time this happened? You and the boys go to the cliff edge, presumably to celebrate, perhaps to ask for help getting down the mountain. Guys, the robots destroyed the way down. Could you get us a ladder? Peace is restored to the world for now, so you take the opportunity to find Sobek's body. I don't know why. I get that you're related, but you've never met her, you fucking weirdo. As you complete Horizon Zero Dawn. Also, Hades is still alive and tries to escape, and once again falls into the hands of Silence, so that's good, I think.